probably thinking that getting a bunch of followers on TikTok and Instagram and making a bunch of money and getting a bunch of free shit will make you happy. It won't. Cheers.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Ho, 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 gentlemen. Christmas came early this year, just like I would with a goth girl. So to celebrate with all of you, I'll be uploading a couple of free videos on my Patreon. You join now as a free member, you can watch this one. Women dating above 30, 40, 50 and hell, probably even 80. So join now, gentlemen, and you'll receive this one free of charge. It's on the house, or it's on the pyramid, should I say. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the desert. How are you all doing? Are you listening to the Mariah Carey song already? Let me know about that. You want to know a red flag about me, gentlemen? I like that Mariah Carey song. That one they play every single Christmas and you listen to it like 76 times. I like it, gentlemen. In fact, I never got tired of it. You know how people meme about, I'm so tired of that song? Guys, I never got tired of that song. I like it so much that I could listen to it every Christmas. It's a red flag, I know, but like and subscribe. But now, gentlemen, let's move on to apparently Beelzebub's girlfriend or Satan's shorty. We're gonna look at this individual who has like 2 pounds of metal hanging from her nose. And let's see about that, guys.
I have a genuine fucking concern and I need you guys to hear me out. Why is nobody fucking passionate about anything?
I'm gonna pause it right here because YouTube has a policy that there must be no insults in like the first minute. So I'm gonna yap a bit more because we have the usual type of women who cannot say a straight sentence without dropping an F-bomb. What can I talk about? You know what will be funny, guys? If I go with a magnet and I just pull these people's noses, wouldn't that be funny? Alright, the minute has passed, let's continue.
Nothing. They're so fucking nonchalant. Everything just, hello? Unfazed. Anything that happens in their life. Nobody fucking cares about interests, hobbies, relationships, friendships. Nothing. There's nothing. You're so fucking dull and life.
So we have modern day Socrates suffering because we're all so dull and plain. And she's so deep, guys, especially between the legs, because of all the chats she's been with. Oh, we don't have a personality. Guys, I can tell, I can make a rundown of her life and pinpoint every exact detail about her, right? The shows she watches on Netflix, for how long she watches them, her favorite character out of the series with like 16 bisexual and LGBT characters that she watches, alright? Her crushes starting from Twilight to the last bullcrap cheating fantasy that she has watched. My hell.
Fliss, wake up! Hello! Like, nobody cares about anything. Everybody's just fucking zombies, walking around, doing the same thing. Like, oh my god. I'm going to freak out because they make me feel like I'm weird. I'm weird for having interests and liking things and like caring about certain things that happen. Nobody cares about anything. Like, pick a fucking social issue. Pick anything that bothers.
Social issue, well. Of course, you just know what she stands for, yeah? She stands for unaliving as much more babies as we can. She stands for using a freaking paper straw that dissolves in your drink. She cares about being vegan and all this crap. You know, it's like, I can know what she stands for.
Bothers you. Nothing bothers them. They are so fucking okay with letting life just fucking dry rub them till completion. Care! Please, I'm begging you to care about anything. Please. I'm so sick of this, like, nonchalant, like, oh, I don't give a fuck about anything. Why? Why don't you care about anything? If something happens to you, why don't you care? Hello? Are you a human? Hello? Like, everything I do, I feel like I am overly passionate about it. Like, anything that happens, like, in my friend group, I'm overly passionate about it. Or, like, anything that just, like, happens to me, around me, any issue that I, like, genuinely care about, I, like, put my whole fucking body into it. Like, I want to be fucking deeply penetrated by life, and y'all just don't fucking care. Y'all just don't fucking care about anything! Peace and...
I can only imagine, like, a 50-year-old man with a beard, you know, chilling at home watching this, and having, like, what, some 19-year-old confused about her gender individual just shouting at him, you know? You just can't pay these guys to care less. Like some 19-year-old kitty teaching grown-ass men how they should live better, you know, and what they should do with their lives. Get out of here, man. But now let's move on to single woman 35 plus who accepted just being single.
I debated if I even wanted to make this TikTok, as it's somewhat vulnerable to me and kind of hard to really get my feelings across. But, you know, if people relate to this, it could, you know, transpire into something, good conversation, support, all this kind of stuff. But for the people that are 35, probably more so women, 35 plus, who, you know, they're just like content being single. How? I am 37 and I have definitely struggled in the dating world. You know, I haven't been in a long-term relationship in quite some time, about 5 or so years. Definitely shorter term relationships I've gone on and off with, 3 months here, 4 months here, 5 months there. This
Well, isn't that a green flag?
last one,
Guys, isn't that what you want to hear from your future wife? Can you imagine you meet the perfect girl, you're about to propose, you know her for a year, right? You're about to propose, and then she tells you, well, actually, I forgot to mention, for the last 7 years, I've been on and off situationships with bad boys. Isn't that what you want to hear?
on and off with, 3 months here, 4 months here, 5 months there. This last one really just bummed me out, as I really thought, you know, we tried twice that. Anyways, beside the point, you know, I want to make the point, like, I've been in therapy for years. I truly like love myself. So I really don't want people to be like, work on yourself and like become like, love yourself. Like, I'm very hyper independent. I grew up an only child primarily. I had to learn to love being by myself and loving who I am. I love to solo travel. It's liberating. Sidebar, if you haven't done it, I highly recommend anyone do it. I have the most great friend support system in the world. But at the end of the day, and I want to just be content being single, but at the end of the day, I yearn for a companion. I yearn for a romantic partner. And there's times where I'm like,
Yeah, guys, so don't mind my past. Just put a ring on that finger because I want to. Because that will make me feel better now. It didn't make me feel better when like 50 of you were chasing me around when I was in my 20s, but it does make me feel better now. Because you're just a convenient retirement plan. So let's see about that, you know? Another thing worth mentioning, guys, that I hate this whole I love myself thing, because there's no need to even say it. Like, first off, every human should like themselves and be confident, but at the same time, you cannot really love everything about yourself. You know, it's such a dull statement. There are things about you you don't like, and you constantly strive to change, right? So what's this whole thing about, I just love myself, self-love, you know, I'm happy with myself. How can you be happy with yourself, as you mentioned how you've wasted the last decade of your life? Is that something you also love about yourself? How insecure you are and the terrible choices you've made? Just such a stupid statement when you boil it down.
I got to get to that point where I just don't, it's just not on my mind, where I accept like this could be is, and be okay with everything else in my environment that is positive. But I'd be lying to myself, because I truly, it's the puzzle, the piece of the puzzle that's missing for me. And I yearn for it, and I love myself, and I work so hard on continuing to grow to love myself even more and being the woman, the person I am today. But I guess my question is for women that are in this position, men too, that have made that decision. Like, what was like your clicking moment? What was the light bulb moment for you where you're like, I'm good. If it happens, it happens, but I'm not going to yearn for it anymore. I'm not going to hope for it, because I could be having the best day and being the most positive, loving myself, whatever, hoopla, and still there's something missing. And I don't know if I'll ever get to that point of just being content.
Yeah, it's almost as if you don't deserve it. It's so far from their mind, the idea that they may not get something that they desire. It's like little children, guys. You know how like 3-year-old toddlers, they cannot comprehend the idea of not having something they want. And if they want ice cream and you don't give it to them, they cry because they cannot understand that it is humanly possible to not achieve everything they immediately desire at the moment. So it's the same with these grown women that are 30 years old. They cannot fit through their minds that, hey, maybe you just don't deserve commitment after what you've done. Maybe you're just not a good option for these men, which is why they're not picking you. You know, but well, maybe at some point they'll understand it, gentlemen. Let's move on to 2 short article stories that we have lined up here. First one, a woman asks how to handle the "why are you still single" question on dates. Tired of feeling like I need to defend my past relationships or explain why I'm not married at 40. Interesting. Men bring this up constantly on first dates, or really, often with suspicious undertones. How do others handle this question gracefully while maintaining boundaries? I'm not even gonna read the comments about, oh, they're just insecure. Of course, these men have suspicious undertones because everything is suspicious. What have you been doing up until 40? Have you been a rocket scientist and you've lived the last 20 years in Mars? Alright, that checks out. Do you have an ill parent that you've been taking care of for a decade and you went dating meanwhile? Alright, that checks out. Were you part of 2 really long relationships with someone who did a 180, cheated on you or something? You've become a widow. That is terrifying. You know, checks out. But most probably, you are just like the last woman we've covered. You spent over 2 decades dealing with the bad boys, and now you want men to just erase all your past like it doesn't even matter. Like it's not telling of your future at all. We know what happens with the men that do that, alright? They end up with divorces and having to pay alimony. So men have wisened up. There's no get out of jail free card for this. So gentlemen, let's move on to the last one. How can us men combat random icks that women have? You know, guys, the fact that you're asking about icks is an ick for women, alright? So it's already over. I feel like I have to be absolutely perfect all the time to not drive any woman I'm seeing away. If I ask a girl I'm dating why she broke up with her previous boyfriend, it's always something trivial. One girl told me that he used too much sour cream at a restaurant and she just couldn't unsee that. Another one was a guy who had a stray nose hair and it just bothered her, so she had to break up with him. I'm not even surprised, this is real. And I'm like, just tell the guy and he can fix it in like 2 seconds. And so this has led me to wondering how many women have broke up with me over time, over some random thing that I was totally unaware of. For me, if I've invested a good amount of time into a woman, then she has to do something pretty bad for me to break up with her. Alright, but you're a rational male. We're talking about women now. But for women, it's like they can be super attracted to a man for a couple of months, and then one little thing happens and it's like they completely forget all of the amazing times they've had together. True. This seems literally psychotic to me, and I just don't understand. Is the solution to be literally perfect all the time? Yeah. Pretty much over. I mean, not really, guys. But when you think about it, the reason why women like chads is they just like the idea of them. And it's something I've mentioned on the channel a few times. If you think that these women would actually be in a relationship with a chad and feel satisfied, you are lying to yourself. That is not true. That is why chads are so desired, because they are unreachable. If a chad commits, he loses that status. And there was this story with this actor from Twilight. I keep forgetting his name. Robert or something. Well, anyway, the vampire, you know, from Twilight. And he went on a date with this one woman that was so infatuated with him. If you don't know the story, she was stalking him all the time, chasing him around, and he decided to turn her away to go on a date with her. and he went on a date with her. He behaved like himself, and she lost interest that same day. These modern women, guys, they just like the idea, all right? They like the idea that they have in their minds about men and chads. If chads commit, if they become loyal, if they actually stop messing around with 300 women to be with just one, they lose interest. It's really that simple. So there's no way to satisfy these women. You can't do anything about it. But gentlemen, I'll leave you off here. I'll go to enjoy the Christmas present Santa left me under the tree. And I'll see you next time, guys. Have a good one. Oh, and by the way, guys, Ampu was really reluctant, to put on the reindeer horns. But he looks cute, right? I was telling him, bro, you look good. You're gonna be a success with the ladies. They're gonna love it. It's so cute. And Ampu was like, no, man, I'm a demigod. I am, I resemble Anubis, I'm just this really badass dog. Please don't put these reindeer horns on me with like little silly ears. But in the end, guys, I made him do it. I think he looks quite good. But what do you think?